Hello, Andrew here again. This is the fifth video of my six-part series about how to transcend addiction. So the previous videos I mentioned how I started experiencing addiction problems 15 years ago. After 5 years, I was fucking sick of it and wanted to quit these behaviors that were very obviously preventing me from living the life I wanted to live and achieving what I wanted to achieve in life, basically. So obviously, I wanted to quit these behaviors, but then I quickly realized that it was nowhere near as simple as just quitting. Turns out it was actually extremely difficult, if not even possible at all. Obviously it's possible, but it didn't seem like it at the time. My experience was that it wasn't possible. So I spent the last 10 years, it's been my mission to just overcome this shit once and for all. And 10 years later, I'm in a much better place. I figured out what works and what doesn't work, first through learning and then through experience. And yeah, so I've kind of basically put together 5 things that must be addressed in order to transcend addiction and just live a life of freedom from these behaviors, from these compulsions, and just with freedom comes peace and joy. So I'm just going to go straight to the fourth one. You want to hear the other ones? Just watch the previous videos. I'll put a link in the I'll put a link down there. So the fourth one that must be dealt with is to basically create, design, choose, and clarify a new purpose, a new goal in life, a new drive, a new direction, a new focus, something that you want to work on and create. So if, like, for example, so me, my biggest addiction was always smoking weed. And so basically, every time I would quit that, if I hadn't dealt with the root of the cause of my addiction, if I hadn't dealt with that and then I quit weed, then I would eventually get hooked on something else. But the one that always just clicked was smoking weed. So that's my one. And so essentially my life would revolve around that. And if you're a cigarette smoker, you kind of know that, if there's a party, or you want to be able to smoke, you want to be able to drink if you like to drink, you kind of have to do these behaviors. It's a lack of freedom. So yeah, my life would revolve around being able to get this this fix, which is essentially a painkiller. The horrible, intense cravings, very uncomfortable, very distressing cravings come up. We got to suppress them, and that's essentially what addiction is. Trying to manage emotions, manage intense, overwhelming feelings. That's what addiction is, essentially. Watch the other videos for a better, more in-depth explanation of that. So essentially, so when I just quit weed and I haven't got a new purpose, it's kind of like what do I do with myself now? My time was revolved around smoking weed, maybe playing video games, eating some munch, and if I'm not doing that anymore, it's like, what the hell do I do? If I haven't chosen a new direction, something I'm excited about, then it's like, what do I do? And it's just way easier to just fall back into it. There's like a gap, a sense of lack, perhaps, like a hole, like a void that must be filled. It was being filled with this. Now it's just this emptiness. So, it's easier to just, and kind of natural, or very natural, to just go back and continue doing this pattern. So what's very important is a new focus, a new direction. So me, for example, it's building an online business. So obviously I need some money to support myself. Man's got to eat. I choose online because I like to travel. I like to be free. Online business has helped me with my own addiction recovery because I can essentially choose my schedule and I can prioritize the recovery work I got to do to stay on form, to stay sharp. And so for me, building an online business is very, very important to me. It's essentially my biggest goal right now. And so let's say, these days, now I've got my focus, I've got it down, it's solidified, I'm excited about it, I'm passionate about it, I love it. I associate it with great pleasure. And now when I think of smoking weed again, I associate that with great pain because, I know that if I just smoke again, it will very, very quickly go back to all day, every day. I won't make any more videos. I won't have the confidence. I won't have the mental clarity. I'll have incredible negative thinking. I will be self-conscious. You know, I won't even be able to stand up sometimes, you know, just monging out on the sofa. So, yeah, so it's very, very important if you want to change your behavior. There's got to be a reason why, a strong reason why to never do that again. Okay, so that's that in a nutshell. Join me for the next video, which will be, I suppose, the final part, which is the fifth thing that must be dealt with, which is getting to the root. You know, you can change the behavior. Hang on. You can change the behavior, but if the root of the addiction is not dealt with, you know, there's still going to be deep emotional pain. So that's got to be addressed. So in the next video. Thank you.